Miss Mikey, how you feeling today?
Good.
Yeah? You feeling yourself today?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How'd she seem getting her up today?
She was a little irritated this morning.
A little irritated.
Yeah, other than that, she was in good spirits.
Yeah. And this is Tanea, everybody. You haven't met her on a video. She's been coming for a long time. She just doesn't come every week or every day. Micah had a seizure last night. But you look like you're doing okay?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you remember having that seizure last night?
No.
You don't remember now?
No.
You remembered when you had it?
No.
No, but you don't remember it now?
No.
Okay. You feeling alright? You look pretty in that blue sweater.
I go.
You know Lauren wants that sweater, don't you?
Yeah.
You gonna let her have it?
No.
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 Alright, you can make her fix her hair. Okay, so we have changed the table decor. I just took off the tablecloth and I left this little thing on there and I fixed it where all these little twiggy things are sticking up. And I just love this base with those. These are leaves. I mean, they're pieces of wood. And I just think it's pretty. Okay, so up here we managed to get some white lights up here, and I think that looks good. And a long time ago, I did a video on these drapes when I first hung them up about 2 years ago. I just changed these up here at the top, grommets. See those holes up there? Those are grommets. So I changed the white shears to be grommets. Instead of 4 shears, there are now 3 shears. And then over on this window, instead of 2 shears, there are 1. So now I have the correct type of shear in there, but really and truly, I just didn't do a good job buying these drapes because they just don't look right because the white behind the valance. But anyway, I fixed them. Okay, remember the story that I told you about these? I completely forgot to light them for Christmas, so we're gonna try to do it for New Year's. So this is the news for today. Look at that pretty hair that girly girl has. And Miss Tanea knows how to fix it pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does, doesn't she? Look at her curly hair she has today. It looks pretty. Yeah. All right, well, you have a good day today, okay?
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit.
Yeah.
A little while.
Yeah.
I wanted to come back and tell you exactly what happened with Micah's seizure. I wasn't able to go into that story while she was still here. But first I want to tell you the story that happened right before she had the seizure. It is so sweet. I wish that I could have had that part on video. So we have a big screen that we watch movies on at our house. I can sit Micah right in front of the screen and she might look at it a little bit, but most of the time she's just listening to it. She's not watching what's going on. So last night, Stephanie in England, hello! Stephanie sends me channels to go take a look at. So anytime she sends me a channel, I'll go take a look at it, and it's usually someone with cerebral palsy, autism, something like that. And she sent me one of this brother and sister. The brother has autism, perfect pitch. I've already forgotten what their names are. Andrew, I think, is his name. And they both have separate channels, and they sing together, and they sing in churches and sing church songs. Very beautiful. And Micah loves singing, so I was watching it, and she was across the room. And she was kind of dancing around. I said, "Oh, come here, you wanna watch this?" So I turned the computer around, and I put it on the full screen mode so you can see it on the full screen. So she comes over and she watches it for a little bit, and then she's just kind of listening, no longer really looking at it. I switched to a different song, and she's listening, kind of paying attention, but not very much. So then I'm on Facebook. Tim Schmoyer, he has a great family channel, so if you'd like to go look him up, his name is Tim Schmoyer. He has a YouTube channel where it's a how-to, and then he has a YouTube channel that is his family. So 4 days ago on Monday, his wife had twins. Such a beautiful story. Went full term. The babies were almost 6 pounds. Didn't have to go into the NICU. Just an incredible story to me. Just beautiful. Well, Micah loves babies. So I was looking on my phone and I said, "Micah," she was already over by me. And I said, "Micah, you want to see these babies?" So I'm holding up the phone for Micah to see. Micah's eyes are glued on the screen. I mean, she was wide-eyed, and you can tell that she is completely awake, completely engaged. And so I'm mesmerized looking at her, being mesmerized watching these twin babies, because this is right in the operating room. It was a C-section right there when the babies come out, and the baby's getting washed right after it was born. And Micah is looking at all this, so my arm was tired, so I would turn around. I'd say, well, Mom's just rolling down to her room now. And then I turn it back around to look to see what they were doing, and then I would hold it up and I'd say, oh, look at the baby getting a bath, Micah. And I mean, her eyes were big. What was so sweet and beautiful about it is that we all know that Micah has a lot going on in her head, but when you can see something like that, so I was watching her eyes, and she was moving her eyes around on the screen, just like if me and you were watching. And it was just the sweetest thing ever. I'm gonna send Tim a note because it's just so beautiful. Micah loves babies. So that was, that really showed how much she loves babies. I mean, she just was wide-eyed and looking, and her wheels were just a-spinning watching that. While I'm watching Micah, all of a sudden, she starts staring and her head kind of turned, and then she's, kind of moving around in her chair. And then her head dropped. And so I went over to her and I give her a hug. And about the time I give her a hug, her seizure was done. I would say it was 15, maybe 20 seconds. It was really, really fast, because first I'm just looking at her because she's changed and I can tell something's wrong. I'm like, Micah, you're having a seizure. And then all of a sudden, she's kind of going like this. She was very cognizant as soon as it was over, because as soon as it ended, she did this is the sign for toilet, so that means I need to go to the bathroom. So I took her to the bathroom, and while we're in the bathroom, I start asking questions. I said, do you remember that you just had a seizure? And she said, yeah. And I was asking her, have you been having seizures at your day program? Yeah. Has anybody seen you have a seizure? No. Are you having any seizures on the van when you're driving to and from your program? Yeah. I held up my hands. Are you having a lot of seizures, or just a little bit of seizures, just some seizures, or a lot of seizures? And she said, a lot. I said, are you having seizures at home? She said, yes. Has anybody seen you? She said, no. So she seemed very aware and answered all my questions right then. So then I take her to her room, and she does the sign. This means I want to go to bed. I'm tired. She said, I want to go to bed. Well, it was about time for her CNA to come. This was about 8 o'clock last night. So now we're getting close to 9 o'clock. So she has the set of books, Anne of Green Gables. So I pull one of those out, and I said, you want me to read one of these? So I sit on the bed, and I said, I'm tired too. Scoot over, and I want to lay down. So I lay down on the bed next to her, and I'm blocking the light with the book. And she was just laying there listening to me. We were waiting on the CNA to get there. So I go ahead and start dressing her for bed. I asked her if she wanted to take a bath. She said no. I said, well, when the CNA gets here, we'll ask you again, and if you want to take a bath, you can. And she just kept doing the sign for she wanted to go to bed. So the CNA got here, took her to the bathroom. So I'm in there a little bit more because I'm telling her about what happened with Micah. And Micah's face went flush. Okay, so right after the seizure, she went stone cold white. Then like an hour later, and then her face is all flushed. I don't know if you remember, but on Christmas Eve, when I put up a video for the snow, all the snow we had on Christmas Eve, and the van that brought Micah home got stuck in the driveway, she got off the van, and her face was very flushed that day, and she was saying as soon as she got off that she didn't feel good. In 2 or 3 days' time, we took her temperature like 10 times, because every time a CNA would come, I'd say, okay, take her temperature now, and then take it again right before you leave. She never had any temperature, but she was indicating, I don't feel well. But then it would go away. I'm wondering if she has had some seizures coming home on the van because of the way she looked when she got off the van on Christmas Eve, the way she looked last night. On last Tuesday when she came home on the van, I got that on video too. and she's saying, I don't feel well. She didn't have any temperature and it doesn't last. So I am wondering if Miss Micah has been having some seizures that we are not detecting, because if they're really short like that, there are lots of times we're not watching Micah or looking at her for 15, 30 seconds, a minute during that time when she could have had something, had a seizure. So she is taking seizure medication. She takes it once a day. She's been taking it for a little over a month. So I called the doctor's office. It is New Year's Eve. They close at noon. I called at 11. I left a message for the nurse to call me, so I may not hear anything back until next week. She has a follow-up appointment scheduled for the month of January, but I wanted to know if we could increase her medication before she goes in for a follow-up, because I'm thinking that she's been having these seizures and we're not detecting them. So that's the news on Micah. I guess she's okay, but this would explain why several times, not just Tuesday and Thursday of last week, but several times she's indicating, I don't feel well, but we're not finding any additional symptoms, and she seems to come out of it, but it makes total sense. She's had a seizure, she doesn't feel well for a short period of time, and then she goes back to being normal, has another seizure, feels bad for a short period of time, goes back to being normal. So, she's going in and out of I don't feel good as she's going in and out of having seizures. So, I feel a little bit concerned about Micah, but I know she's taking medication, and I know that we can change the medication, increase her current medication, or add a medication. I know that we can take care of it, but she's had such wonderful progress with her speech, and you've seen that in videos. Now she's talking more to caregivers. I got a call last week from her therapist that she's had, a physical therapist that she's had since 1993, something like that, for a really long time. And she called me last week, and one of the things she was telling me is that Micah is starting to talk to her more in therapy. She's been seeing Micah an hour a week for all these years, and now Micah is starting to converse with her more. I mean, Micah's just having huge verbal leaps and bounds, she's getting better. I can't think of the word, but it's just so exciting to see her communicate more, and not just to people she's really close to, but she's communicating more with extended caregivers, extended places where she's going. She's starting to communicate a little bit more to people at church, and it's just sweet, and I just love it. And I know that you love watching her. And I appreciate your comments and watching her and telling me how she brightens your day, how she makes you smile, and how beautiful she is. It means a lot to me. She is a very beautiful girl that God has made to bless the world with, and it's just very sweet. I feel very blessed to be Micah's mother. I feel very blessed to have her in my life, and I feel very blessed that you watch her and that you embrace her, and that you communicate with me how Micah makes you feel and what you get from watching her videos. It means a lot. Micah loves your comments, and she loves your hugs that you send her and that you give her, and your kisses and your love. So thank you so much. That is today's news. Oh, and it is the 31st, so I'm going to throw a clip on the end of here. It's Lance. He's the kitty, and he goes almost to the top of the tree, so I'm going to throw that in here because Christmas kind of lasts to me all the way up until today, and then tomorrow is the New Year, and then Christmas is over. So it's a Christmas tree, so I'm going to throw that in there so you can see it. And I'll talk to you soon. I will look to the hills from whence cometh my help, for my help cometh from the Lord. Bye-bye. This right here, my dear friends, this is just a bonus video right here to show you. I moved the candy into the kitchen. I had that little reindeer wrapped around him in the family room. I just like to move stuff around just a little bit. I like variety. Lance has made himself. Okay, this is the tree now. Look, he's almost, can you see him right in there? He is almost at the top. Top of the tree is right there. What are you doing in there? What are you doing in there, Lance? Lance, what you doing in there? You old snickerdoodle-doo. They've torn down some more stuff out of the tree and the branch. See, now you can see real easy all the way to the other side of the tree. Lance, what you doing in there? Huh? See if we can lift the branch here. Lance. Alright, it's focusing on a branch instead of... Lance, what you doing? Crazy cat. Crazy cat.
He's coming back down.
Is he coming back down?
Yeah. We go over here. There's a little hole.
Yep, now I see him. Lance, what you doing in there? What you doing in there, Lance? Oh, he kind of fell down. I think I hear him falling. I think I hear him falling. There he is. Lance, what you doing in there? What you doing in there, Lance? You old crazy cat? You old crazy cat? You old crazy cat, you. Crazy cat. Crazy cat. Well, he got down all by himself. No rescue needed there. Almost looks like he's done that before. Yeah. You done that before? You done that before, you old sweetness. Huh? You sweetness, baby do.